Investors Moon here, 100K Fire Movement. Today we're living in one of the biggest stock market history. Today, we are currently at a fear and greed index of 4, and as of this recording, the futures is still going down, which means that probably after today's trading day, this will tick down even more. So the last time that even last year, Japanese yen carry trade, it was like 17, and then eventually market continued to rebound, but this time around is even worse. And over the past 12 years between 2011 to 2013, there were 4 of them that happens at these 4 readings as well. So the Ebola and the war stress, the trade war, which is more direct and similar, and also 2020 COVID crash, and also the 2022 inflation concern. And what we're dealing today, right, is a black swan, because probably not a lot of people do expect that Trump, who is very pro-business and who always talk about, who always imply that one of his strategy, right, is to just talk about his stock market, that it is doing very well. So this time around, according to a lot of people, it seems like he's trashing his own economy and his own stock market. So if we really understand how tariffs work and all, so it just didn't work the way that he himself imagined it to be. So right now, let's do a VIX versus leverage VIX ratio analysis. What I realized that every time when there is this spike over, like a big spike between this ratio, we would be able to see like somewhat like a reversal as well. Although some of the times we may see a continuation, such as COVID-19, but most of the time, it kind of trigger at least a minor reversal from now. So the reversal would probably just be around the corner, but just not so sure when, and also how long, and also how much as well. And if we look at this same chart over here, pre-pandemic, which is towards the tariff trade war again back then in 2018, these were some of the times where there is a spike. So you see, such as this season, late 2018, we still see a continuation of that. So just not too sure when is the end, but more often than not, this is more or less gives a signal for at least a short-term bounce. So while I disagree with how he do the free trade arrangement, and going forward, the world going forward, the way we evaluate our stock market as coined by Howard Marks, it's going to be different. So if it's going to be different, then we are going to weigh our investment strategy differently as well, according to him. And currently, as we are looking at US versus non-US total stocks, currently we are indeed trading at a very cheap valuation as well. But of course, regardless of how I disagree with how Trump is doing things, got to also be fair to him to some extent, even though I don't agree with him, that late last year, December 2024, US market did indeed went up a lot. So there might actually be a case where the market is just going through a normal correction, and tariffs and everything else is just a distraction, right? So if our options practitioner like me, then this is a time where we can sell options based on our own personal risk. That means that, let's say if you are doing real strategy like me, but during certain levels that may not hit at least a break-even point, if we want, we might still be able to do that, but we got to really monitor whether do we stay within that zone. And if eventually, what we don't want is that we sell cover calls to get additional premium, but what we don't want is that in the event the market were to spike up and all of our shares gotten caught away at a loss, then that wouldn't be such a great deal as well. So, but at the same time, whatever premiums that we are able to collect right now, we can add them as shares, keep them as cash. And particularly if you are doing similar work that I do right now, which the leverage ETF that we are able to add right now will gain a lot more returns over a long run, because right now it's trading at a very low price, and also it is easy for us to accumulate every 100 shares. For every 100 shares we have collected, we're able to sell cover call as well on that. So that is like a flywheel. So we have options to create premiums, we add more shares, because right now it's cheap. It is easy for us to reach the next 100 shares. Because we have reached 100 shares, we are able to sell additional cover call onto it, so that we are able to add more shares, sell more cover calls. So right now we are in this zone where in this season where we are able to build on a lot of cover call capacity for us to just keep on doing this flywheel. And when the market will eventually go back up, then that's when we can either take profits or ride the wave through, all the way through as well. But of course, lastly, we got to really understand how is things going to turn out. As of this recording, there were quite a lot of protests happening in US. Of course, people are feeling the heat, and they may not even be able to live on over the next 1 month. Particularly the social security, which I guess is something like our CPF in Singapore, is taken away, and with not much notice. It's just within a span of 3 months. So I suspect that with social media nowadays, people are more informed. So because people are more informed, there's a way to really unite the right people together to really make a certain change that they wish to make. I think lastly, right, if you're also living in Singapore like me, recently I also came across this nine-figure business owner who mentioned that the potential. Okay, few people share a few things. So there is one nine-figure business owner shared that people are not treating this trade war, this tariff, serious enough, because if this were to happen ongoingly, mid to long term, this is going to be very, very bad. And of course, a lot of people are thinking that maybe Donald Trump is currently just using this as a way of negotiation to check out the price so that eventually he can lower the price, something like that. I'm not too sure. Maybe. And so few things can happen. So if that is really his art of negotiation and eventually the countries didn't retaliate and all, then that's okay. Then the worst case scenario is a lot of companies and a lot of countries they do all the retaliation tariff, then that will be like a 1930s kind of crash. But of course, I guess human today should be more informed. So we shall see how. And let's say for some reason he got impeached or whatever, get voted out, even before any midterm election, then then market would be able to get the kind of certainty, at least the friendly certainty going forward in the future. Lastly, right, while it's also concerning that our brokerage account is dipping right now, it's also similarly important right now to be able to build our main street. So on one hand, we have Wall Street, which is the investment, but then we do have our own main street as well. So continue to take this time to really look deeper into like what kind of values can we add for the marketplace, and then eventually we build assets around that, and then we constantly discover a new side of us, continue to contribute to the marketplace, and you shall see how tough times will make strong people will make good times. And especially if you are living in Singapore as well, like I truly sincerely wish that all of us will come together and to go through this stronger together, because I guess, to be honest, in the past I used to take Singapore prosperity and peace for granted, but once in a while my wife told me that we have nothing but people. So then again, not until I am so obsessed with investment and the current affairs and the global civilization affairs so much recently, that I kind of have a deep sensing about this whole issue altogether. Like really, we as Singapore, probably one last note before we leave, right? Like we as Singapore have been living very prosperous and also peaceful, and I do see a lot of people that they are unhappy with the current government and all. I guess at the end of the day, no government is perfect, no system is perfect either. My personal stand is this, that I'll vote for consistency, I'll vote for stability, because what are the odds of someone new coming in to be able to make a change? It is very different. It's just very different. And whatever things that they can say, it's just like what Donald Trump say, going to end the war on day one, going to reduce the food prices, and he didn't even understand the word groceries until recently. So like whatever candidates that wants to come in, they can pitch all the things that they want. They can pitch the heaven and all, but in a good case, they don't fulfill anything. In the worst case, which is what we are living through right now, instead of the heaven, they are actually delivering the hell. So vote wisely. And I know that you, being in this video for so long, you probably vibe well with me as well. So I really believe that you are also sensible to know who to vote for upcoming Singapore election. I'll see you soon. Bye.